Good afternoon, North Tama Redhawks. It is Mrs. Olson, and I welcome you to Thursday, April 23rd, 2020's Redhawks Connect. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. It is a bit cloudy out there. My little phone app is telling me that it is 58 degrees and it feels like 57, so not a whole lot of difference in what it actually is and what it feels like. Is cloudy, but still a nice day to be out and about with parents and guardians if you can go out to get some fresh air. I am starting with a huge apology. We had a birthday yesterday on Wednesday, April 22nd, and I did not get it. So happy super belated birthday to Addison Hochstetler. Addison, I am so sorry. Your elementary team is thinking about you and wishing that you had an awesome day yesterday celebrating your birthday. Sorry that I missed it. We are going to go to yesterday's trivia. We had a couple of questions. The first question that we are going to focus on was, what food serves as the base for guacamole? We had Miss Hallie Jacobs write in, and she shared that her Aunt Shannon makes guacamole and that she buys avocados to make it. The Duties, Anthony, Elliot, and William shared that avocados are the base for guacamole, but you do not use the skin you do not use the seeds. So picture of avocado, Hallie, and the Duties. You folks are all correct. There's a picture of avocado, and William, Anthony, and Elliot says, please do not use the seed inside, and please do not use the skin. That would not be good. And there's some yummy guacamole. Delicious. Thank you for sharing your answers. I appreciate it. The next trivia was, where did the Olympic Games originate? And I'm going to combine these. How many rings make up the Olympic rings? And then what are the colors of the Olympic rings? So we had, I am looking at all of my notes here. We had Anthony Elliott and William Duties share that the Olympics began in Greece. They also share that there are 5 rings that represent the Olympics, and the colors of the rings are black, yellow, red, blue, and green. So the Olympic rings, I have a picture. I was interested to see what these Olympic rings stand for, and so I did a little research about the Olympics and found a few things that I thought were super duper interesting. So there's the Olympic rings. So those rings are the symbol of the Olympics. And when the Olympics were first created, they were created by Baron Pierre de Coubertin. He was a Frenchman, and he reestablished the Olympics after it was first happening in Olympia, Greece. So the Olympics started in Olympia, Greece, way back from 776 BC through 393 AD. And it wasn't until 1,503 years later that the Olympic Games came back. And it came back because of Baron Pierre de Coubertin. He was responsible for the Olympics' rebirth. Originally, when the Olympics were being celebrated in Olympia, Greece, it was primary part of a religious festival, which they were celebrating Zeus, who is the father of the Greek gods and goddesses. When Baron Pierre de Coubertin brought the Olympics back, he used the rings, and in 1913, he used them to represent the 5 continents. And at that time, the 5 continents were Europe, Asia, Africa, the Americas, and Oceania. Very interesting. Those were the 5 continents. Right now, according to the Olympic Charter Rule 8, the Olympic symbol expresses the activity of Olympic movement and represents the unit of the 5 continents and meeting of athletes from throughout the world at the Olympic Games. Very interesting to me. Also, the Olympic flame. We see now where people pass the Olympic torch from one another in kind of a relay style, and then they end up lighting the huge Olympic torch. That did not always happen. The torch was first inaugurated in 1928 at the Olympic Games in Amsterdam. Modern Olympics, the torch relay started, and that relay started in, good grief, where did the relay start? Mrs. Olson. I might have to get back to you on that. My notes are all scattered. I am going to have to get a hold of you on that. It was reestablished in modern Olympia in 1936, but I do not have the place that it was reestablished. So I'm going to have to get back to you with my notes. I appreciate super duper Hallie and the Duties boys being interactive and letting me know your responses to my trivia questions. That makes my days so much better, and I look forward to hearing what your answers are to the trivia. Today's trivia, I have two questions. The first one, what contains more sugar, strawberries or lemons? What contains more sugar, strawberries or lemons? The second trivia question, what do the letters in the acronym LED stand for? What do the letters LED stand for? Let me know your answers. Write them in either to your teachers or to myself, and I will showcase your responses tomorrow on the radio show. We had also a little science experiment at the end of radio show, at the end of Redhawks Connects yesterday. And we started with vinegar on a plate. We added a dip of food coloring. Then we had a Q-tip that was dipped in dish soap. When you put the Q-tip down in the vinegar, then the color kind of dissipated and went to the outside of the plate. I asked if any of you could explain to me why that was happening. And Mr. Anthony Duties chimed in to school me a little bit about chemistry. He shares there's a reaction of elements that do not attract to each other. That is why the color moves when the soap touches it. Super duper smart, Anthony. A little bit more specific, there are atoms in the vinegar and chemicals in the vinegar. There are atoms and chemicals in the dish soap as well. They carry both positive and negative charges. And so just like Anthony suggested, positive and negative, they're not going to attract. Positive, positive, negative, negative. And so that dissipates the color and makes the color go outside to the plates. So thank you, smart Anthony. You are making me smarter today by your answers. So I appreciate that a ton. We also had yesterday, the word wizard was the word set with 464 different definitions. I asked if you would write in with sentences using the word set. That would be fantastic. If we can look up on the board here, I have William Duties. He shares the lions are set to hunt. Anthony Duties shares set the phone down. Elliot Duties shares I am always set to go outside. Thank you for participating and interacting and showing us 3 different ways how to use the word set. I appreciate it. Today's word wizard is screeched. So we have learned about syllables in elementary school. A lot of us have learned to figure out the number of syllables in a word. We need to clap. So for instance, if we had playground, we would say playground, and that would be 2 syllables. If we had the word roller skate, that would be 3 syllables. If we had the word run, that would be 1 syllable. Screeched in our word wizard smarts is the longest word that has 1 syllable. Screeched. If you clap when you say the word screeched, screeched. You're going to clap 1 time. So it's a 9-letter word, most commonly cited as the longest word with 1 syllable. Screeched. You can add that to your smarts and share that information with people who might not know that. Super duper interesting to me. So let's see that I have checked all my notes for today. I believe that we have everything covered. So for today, I'm going to say let's focus on art for our subject. We have talked about honey. We have talked about planets, Mercury in specific, Jupiter in specific. We have talked about thunderstorms and lightning as far as which comes first, ladybugs, guacamole, the Olympics. I would love for you to create something that goes with one of the topics that we have talked about so far this week. It can be any type of creation. You can use anything at home as long as parents and guardians are okay with it. String, beans, acorns, sticks, leaves, paper, pencil, crayon, pen, paper clips, whatever you can find. If you can create something that goes along with something that we've talked about so far this week, that would be fantastic. And I will share it on tomorrow's Redhawks Connect. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. The sun is starting to shine through, which is super duper exciting. Try to get out and get some of those sun's rays on your skin. Enjoy the fresh air. I hope that you are having a fantastic Thursday. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. See you later.